This week's language arts lesson is going to be reading teammates, and the I can statements are I can summarize events using supporting details, and I can draw conclusions using the text as support. Remember, drawing conclusions is using your background knowledge and the information provided in the text and kind of combining that to understand what the author is trying to tell you, especially about these two teammates that you're going to be learning about. So on slide 2, this is where you're going to click on the book at the very bottom. It's actually going to read it aloud to you, so you will not need to read the text yourself. You're going to have to listen to it. However, the book will show images of the pages. So when you go back to the next few slides to go answer these questions, I would keep this book, which is actually a Flipgrid. It's going to open up a new tab, and I would have that up beside this slide, so that way you can kind of go back and forth, because you may need to go back and listen to the text being read aloud again, or either you may want to just kind of stop and pause the video so that way you can kind of read the pages yourself to get the information that you'll have to answer. So this is where you're going to find the book. On slides 3 and 4, you're going to be asked questions regarding the book, so such as characters or people, the setting, the conflict, the events, the solution. These are all the things that give us a summary. So think about what we talked about. Think about what we used in class. I know this is a little bit different format. We had used the more of the mountain, or the plot mountain, what we call it. But these are basically the same things that we were needing to find. So think about the characters, also providing traits and feelings and actions of those characters. The setting might be the time period in which this book took place, or maybe they even mention a date, a specific date. So you might want to talk about that. And of course, the place, the location that is mostly mentioned. Think about the main problem that the characters are being faced with, and the events leading up to that solution. So how is it being resolved, and what were those things that had to take place in order for it to be resolved? So then the next slide will then answer questions such as the author's word choice, themes, and other ideas. So slides 3 and 4 are basically regarding the book in such format as a summary, given the information that you would include in a summary. Slide 5 goes along with the book again. However, this is kind of the same format that we've been using for the last few weeks. So think about the genre. What kind of genre would you consider teammates? Key details. What were the main events, the main things that happened in the book that the author really wanted you to know about? Think about the purpose of what the book was written for. The summary statement is a little bit different than a full summary. A summary statement is probably going to be 1 or 2 sentences, kind of giving you just the general idea, almost like a main idea of what the text is about. And then when I read, it made me think. So this is going to be your own thought, your own opinion about it. So does it remind you of something else that you've read? Does it remind you of something that you've had to go through in life, or someone that you know has had to deal with? So think about that connection piece. That's what this is really about, okay? And then the last slide is an exit ticket. So it says, highlight the answer you feel is correct. So there's 2 questions here, and then the little boxes are going to be your answer choices. So when it says to highlight, you can go up, it's hard to see it right now, but you can go up to where it has tools. And a lot of time, tools isn't showing it up here, but you should be able to highlight it. Oh, there we go. I was going to say, I think it may have been because I was on the video, it wasn't coming up. But so you can select whichever one you feel like is the answer, and then click on the highlight right here, the highlight color. So you can choose what color you want to highlight it. Okay. So that's one way that you can do that. Or if you just want to put an X over it, you can, whichever one. But I feel like highlighting it would probably be the easiest. So think about all of the options for these 2 questions and highlight your best response. All right, boys and girls, I feel like that has thoroughly gone over what you are completing for this week. I feel like as we get into the next few weeks, since we only have a few more, we've pretty much gone over a lot of the essential objectives. So a lot of it's going to be review, especially with language arts. So some of the organizers may look exactly the same, but with different texts. And really, the essential objective is comparing two different texts. So that's what we're going to be doing again next week, is comparing two different books. The book that you're actually reading this week, and then you're going to be introduced to a new book next week, and you're going to be comparing the two. So kind of giving you a heads up of what to expect for next week. So if you have any questions, make sure you let me know through the discussion board, or either have your parents email me. All right, you guys, take care and show me your best work.